what does depression feel like? This is such a big topic to talk about. It is complex, and for each person it is different. And having just had my own recent experience, I wanted to break it down as simply as possible without negating what it really means and how it feels like. I'm Chantal, holistic counselor and Akashic record reader here at Unfold Your Freedom. I've just recently had a bout of depression again and realized that I ended up there forgetting, because I have had it before, what it felt like. It felt lonely, I felt isolated, I felt unmotivated, everything felt effortful. So let's look at what depression is about. And if anything triggers you, please contact here in Australia Lifeline 1300 11 14, because you're not alone. Or go phone emergency. And I'm just going to check again that I have got the right number, because when I get anxious, 13 11 14. It is a big topic. You may not realize you're depressed, or you may be depressed, or you wanted to support someone. We need to educate ourselves more. We need to understand more. So this is my understanding of it. And anyone love to add comments, please do. So I went and did a little bit of research, of course, and then coming from my own experience. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, and I'm going to read this, depression is a state of feeling very unhappy without hope for the future. The Collins Dictionary defines it as depression is a mental state in which you are sad and feel that you cannot enjoy anything because your situation is so difficult and unpleasant. And that is so true. You might wake up like that. For me, I just hit it unexpectedly, but I realized it had been taking a while to come there. It can be all forms of depression. It can come from grief, from trauma. It can be clinical, it can be short-term, long-term. So again, please reach out to get help from someone. This is just more for information and education. Let's get the conversation happening. I know for me, and in the next couple of posts, I've written there how to cope strategies. I fortunately had a support system in place that I could reach out to, but it still took me a little bit to actually admit and acknowledge I was there through the shame. Then I've also put in the next ones how to support a loved one. Really important, what to say and what not to say. So depression is really complex. And as I said, it's a personal experience. So there's no simple solutions that works for every person. So it's important to find what is right for you and what your needs are. So what is depression? I'm just going to go, I'm reading my notes because it's too important for me to miss out. So you can spiral back up, you can spiral back down. You do need help. I know I needed help, so please don't ever feel ashamed. You are not alone. Do seek help. You might need a few people. You might need different things to help you. And what you're needing is a big dose of love, not only from others, but for yourself. Love, patience, acceptance, and compassion. Not easy to feel when you're in it. So these include, so what does depression encompass? Include you feeling teary, sad, miserable for no apparent reason. It can be that, because it can be a delayed experience. I know mine was from something that had been happening a while ago, but I just didn't realize. When you have these angry and emotional outbursts that seem to come from nowhere, and they're from the slightest things, that combines with feeling frustration and irritability. So there's that there. That where did this come from? Why am I like that? What has happened here? And you're seeming more pessimistic in your life. And there's an emptiness in you with a deep sense of hopelessness. Now, again, if you're feeling triggered, please seek help. And I know I felt this. I just suddenly I woke up, life wasn't worth living. Everything felt negative. I felt just pessimistic is the best word for that. And empty. Like my life wasn't worth it. What am I doing? Why am I bothering? All those sort of things come into play. Then there was this lack of energy and just feeling deeply tired all the time. And I was really surprised because I sleep well, I've been exercising, I eat well, but no matter how much I slept, so it can go both ways, no matter how much you sleep or you don't sleep, and feeling tired all the time can be or is a sign of depression, all right? So even what I found then was that the smallest things took effort. Getting out of bed, I keep talking about that in my videos, just cleaning my teeth, making a meal, getting dressed, just all those things were becoming effortful. So, and you're struggling to cope with everyday situations, let alone taking anything on extra. So suddenly what you used to doing becomes effortful, becomes hard work. You lose that sense of joy in there. And then you don't want to do anything extra. So then I was concerned about how am I going to keep going? How am I going to do this? Because I was on my own at that point and my partner had gone away. And there I was. I just thought, wow, how did I end up here not being able to do the things I'm used to doing? Also, what you'll find is that unable to concentrate, make decisions, remember things. Now, I know when I was in PTSD or complex PTSD, some of these things can overlap with grief, trauma, even menopause. So unable to concentrate. Now, just because you're depressed doesn't mean you have that, but often depression is part of those. Unable to record recent events, you have memory lapses. Oh my goodness, yes, you couldn't remember what perhaps you did even a few minutes ago, the day before. A lot of negative self-talk and a real loss of confidence, self-esteem. So you talk, I'm not enough and I'm not good enough and how did I end up here? You know, will anyone want to talk to me again? All these things come into play. So again, either not sleeping enough, sleeping too much, change in appetite. Either you have food cravings, so you start eating too much, or you reduce your appetite, and that can then affect your weight, all right? So be aware of, I know for me, I automatically go to having more sweet things and more chocolate. So therefore you gain or lose weight, so be mindful of that. Then you can also turn to substances, drugs, alcohol, or having more than usual. So be really aware of that to numb yourself. So again, that's not my expertise, but just be mindful of that. And again, seek help and get advice, go to your GP, see a therapist or someone who's a professional or has that experience, how they can support you. So if you're noticing that you're drinking that extra glass of wine or having, turning to recreational drugs, be aware of that, all right? And also talking frequently about death, having suicidal thoughts or even suicide attempts. Now, again, I find that difficult to talk about. I did have suicidal ideation. Doesn't mean I didn't want to. So please reach out because that can be happening there, talking about death. Because I know for me, and again, I'm feeling this quite hard to talk about, there were moments where I just didn't want to wake up. I didn't want to be here. I couldn't see a future. So what was the point of my life? Again, please seek help. Lifeline, 1300 11 14. You're not alone in this. It is real. Doesn't mean that you want to actually take your life, end your life, but there is a real feeling there and it can be very frightening. I know when I first experienced that, I was very frightened about that. So I really did go and seek help. I went and saw a psychologist. And again, coming to the end, there's no single cause for depression. Okay, I know mine apparently came from childhood, but I was really good at masking it. And then it went undisguised when I was going through, as I said, the PTSD. And it can be a development due to a combination of factors. They can be internal things as medications, genetic factors, hormonal balances. And it can be from external things, feeling lonely, grief, trauma, abuse by a friend, family, work. All these things come into play. At workplace, school bully, you've had a breakup, moving homes or countries. So I'm just giving you some things that can contribute to this. Losing a job. Your financial situation has changed. There's hardship now in your life. And life has gotten on top of you. Suddenly it's all come together and come crashing all around you, okay? But something I have learned, and I want to leave this on, hopefully give you hope, that if you don't deal with it, I know if I hadn't dealt with it, it'll either keep coming back or it'll get worse until you have to. So you see, I'd ignored it, it came crashing down all around me. Please reach out. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, get notifications to get the next lot. And as I said, you're not alone in this. Thank you for witnessing me and helping with the conversation to keep it going.